Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new movie review. This one is for Alien Romulus. So, Alien Romulus is the seventh installment in the Alien franchise, and this time around, we are following a group of space colonizers that work on a mining planet for the Weyland Corporation and have now found a way to possibly escape their work life. However, this escape plan does come with a cost, coming face to face with the deadliest creature in space. Where do I begin with this glorious movie? Now, I will start off that overall, I love this franchise. There's really only one movie in this series I don't particularly like, but the Alien franchise has just consistently evolved and stayed fresh. And I rewatched the other films in preparation for this one, and I remember now how great those films are, all for different reasons. But I was like, we're seven movies in, man. Like, what else can you do in here to make it different, fun, entertaining, or even just have my interest? I feel like maybe we have gone the distance with the cinema, and oh boy, Fede Alvarez, you knock it out of the park. And there are so many things I love about this movie, and I have a couple of criticisms too, which I'll get to. But starting off, Fede Alvarez, the director in here, he was the main thing that got me jumping up and down from excitement when they announced these movies. While everybody will love the Alien franchise for different reasons, I do think it is one of those series that maybe got caught up leaning more into the action side and leaving behind a lot of the horror elements. I felt like there was a reason Prometheus and Alien Covenant didn't just exactly connect with general audiences back then, and it's why unfortunately never got the third entry, Alien Awakening. And I feel like it was at that point into the franchise it traded in those action and horror elements for more philosophical things, more bigger ideas, things that I feel like really alienate to what most audiences just enjoy of an alien film. Like, yes, there's a lot of grand things in this universe, but also at the end of the day, it's a slasher movie, it's a creature feature, it's the basic formula of a group of characters animation, and this horrifying, indestructible being shows up and then causes bloody chaos. Give me something entertaining with that formula. And Fede Alvarez, I think, definitely did that. Coming from a horror background, he injected a great amount of horror in here. There's some truly horrifying sequences in here, lots of suspense, so many moments that I think it will keep you on the edge of your seat, and it just goes crazy. There were a couple of times throughout this movie where I actually sat up and leaned forward because I was just fully locked into what was happening on screen. Another big praise of the movie is going to the cast. Now, this was something that was getting a lot of backlash when the movie was announced. Oh, teenagers, why are you bringing teens into aliens? What is this? Well, I'm happy to say that these teenagers aren't really teenagers, more like young adults, and they are great. Great as in they serve the purpose they need to in this movie. You're not going to see like any Oscar worthy performance in here, but one of the main highlights for me were, of course, Cailee Spaeny, who's have been having a spectacular year so far. I love her in Civil War, and there's always kind of a big shoes to fill when you are considered the Ripley of this movie, but she really holds her own and was really easy to root for. And like, I want this character to make it out of this terrible situation. But the unsurprised character, the rival Kevin Spenny in here, David Jonsson. David Jonsson in here plays Andy, a synthetic android, and that isn't a spoiler. They make it very clear in the trailers. And man, the androids have always been a fascinating part of the alien universe. Like you could do an entire movie just focusing on them. They kind of try to do with Prometheus and Covenant, but I mean a whole movie where you just focus on the android side of the alien universe without any aliens at all. I will watch that. But to me, it was interesting to see it play out the backstory of where these synthetic androids come from and the way it plays into the story. As for a lot of suspenseful moments, not just that, but a lot of conflicting emotions on the actions these androids takes from time to time throughout the movie. His story is never as compelling as David, played by Michael Fassbender from Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but it was just still a nice element thrown into the movie. And in fact, there's another giant positive thing about this film. Well, I would say you don't necessarily have to watch any previous Alien movie to like or enjoy this one. It's set between Alien 1 and Aliens. That's when Alien Romulus is happening. And any vital plot points from the previous Alien movie in here is quickly explained, and you're not left in the dark if you didn't catch that movie. For those of us who have seen all six of the previous entries, lots of Easter eggs, a lot of fun ones in the background, and oh my god, that's I love that. And the story mimics a lot of elements from the other movies. It's like Fede Alvarez literally looked at every movie and was like, okay, I like this. Let me throw that into this movie. Oh, I like what they did in here. Let me throw that in here too. And I was constantly surprised as someone who just spent last week rewatching all the movies. It was really nice to see him blend and wave in all these elements from every alien movie and somehow make it work into one story. And all of that for me just kind of a work. It felt like a celebration of everything that came before. Now people might think, oh, that's a negative thing. They're not doing anything new. The thing I love about aliens is where they are low when they expand on the cinema for. And I love that too. And while I'm not going to promise a giant expansion of the lore, I do think they expanded it a bit. And they definitely do a lot of new things. The third act of this movie is so bonkers wild. I don't want to overhype it because I was already seeing a lot of people overhype it. And I thought in the movie we had gotten to the Torah, and I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And I don't know if that is crazy, but I'm like, okay. And oh no, we are now in the Torah, and that's great. And jaw to the ground most of the 10 to 15 minutes of this movie. And even on that subject, things that we are familiar, with the face huggers, cinemorphs, Fede does something new with them. There's a zero gravity sequence in this movie. There is this in the trailers, and oh god, that is gorgeous. You get a very suspenseful sequence involving a hallway of face huggers that I was like, oh, that's nice. I like that. That's different. So even it was introducing its own new elements and using old tropes into the Alien franchise, it had a different spin on them. And I thought that was cool. The thing I was most hopeful with Fede Alvarez being attached to this movie is the horror elements. They and they are there. But it also doesn't stay back from the action elements, the fun sci-fi nature of this world, as well as implement it. So Fede did a good job of balancing the things I was hoping to see while still keeping the stuff that other fans enjoy from the franchise. Last big positive I want to give to this movie is that I thought it was breathtaking. I think Alien Romulus is the best looking Alien movie. And I know Prometheus and Covenant also look gorgeous, but there are so many absolute gorgeous shots and visuals in here, from the xenomorphs attacking to the new things they implemented in, and it looks gorgeous. A lot of beautiful shots of this movie can be credited to the practical effects they throw in this movie, and that practical tangibility of the sets really immerse you into this alien world. So with that said, let me jump into the things I'm most miss or negative about the film, and I'll be honest, there are nitpicks. There's not much negative to say about this film. I do think that it takes a bit to get going. The first half of this movie is meeting the characters, setting up their missions, how the cinemas are there, and that kind of stuff. And even in the middle of the movie, I feel like some people might be going, "What are we leading into? Like, what is going on here?" And dude, that third act really has the movie ending on a super strong note. I mentioned the retreating plot points from the previous entries. I found it like a great homage, and it's like the movie celebrates everything that came before it. And it's just kind of a like mismatch of the best stuff of the previous films, while other people think that's a little lazy, especially when a lot of the major plot points feel like stuff that we already seen and done before. And I think at this point, 7 movies in, people just want the new stuff, and there's new stuff here, but it's not as huge as you would like. I think new fans and old fans of this franchise will love this movie and will be extremely happy with it. Fede Alvarez to me just needs to be given every remake or reboot of old property. It just seems to nail this so perfectly. Like give him Friday the 13th, give him Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, the guy did absolutely gorgeous and magnificent job with this movie. Absolutely, I can highly recommend it. And I mean, just go and see this on the biggest screen possible because it's absolutely bonkers. It's spectacular, and the suspense is excellent. It's perfectly the atmosphere. Everything is so perfectly done. I love it so much. So that's my review for Alien Romulus. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.